Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the What? No, that's my podcast. Welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Monster Hunter World. I'm Ibble Bibble, and, today we're gonna go save a scholar. But first, let's get some wading boots. These are from the Gaja that we hunted in that optional quest last time that I forgot to show off. And they have the Aquatic Expert skill, which helps us run around in water better, which, as you will quickly see, will help a lot. Just gonna quickly upgrade them as well. Might as well. I got a ton of these spheres. Well, not a ton, but a decent amount, and I don't really mind spending them. Nothing else really worth upgrading at the moment. And as you can see, we're going to use the Bone Horn. I've managed to upgrade it up to rank 3. And the main reason why we're using the Bone Horn is because it's got a muck resistance song, which I don't remember if we saw it during the bar fight last time, but it sprays out like mud that you can get stuck in, and that song lets you, well, resist getting stuck in it. The monster we're going to fight today also has muck powers, as it were. I was trying to look for the Poogie, but couldn't find it, which is kind of annoying. But we'll find it eventually, and we will rename it to Groupig, which is what I decided on because I'm the boss. But yeah, I thought Groupig was a nice name. It fits in with the whole rocker theme of max volume. There's a bit of a running gag where the handler keeps asking us why we came to New World, and we just never answer. But whatever. Yeah, we need to go find a scholar right now, and it's gonna be a fun ride. We actually have a decent amount of cash this time around. I don't remember having that much cash when I started off, but we'll probably spend it quite quickly, to be honest. One thing I am going to make is a bunch of Mega Nutrients, because I've noticed that, well, first things first, Nutrients and Mega Nutrients, along with Max Potions, are potions that increase your maximum health, and obviously this is useful if your food didn't give you much extra health. So I believe the default is 100 health, and then if you add in a max potion, obviously it goes up to a 100. I think a max potion adds 50.
Okay, let's look for the scholar. He must have left some kind of trail.
It's something like max potion adds 50, and then the vitality skill adds another 50, so you can go up to 200 health if you have the vitality skill slotted, I think. I will need to double check that. And we got some Screamer pods in the free stuff, which really surprised me because I didn't realize that Screamer pods would work on this monster. Screamer pods are pods that you can fire at a monster that's burrowing to force it out, and usually this stuns it as well. So this forces burrowed monsters out of the ground. And yeah, as you'll see, this monster does, well, it doesn't really burrow, it kind of swims through the mud, which I guess is kind of burrowing. But yeah, I did not realize until I recorded this that you could actually use Screamer pods on this monster.
Ah!
But yeah, as you can see, it's not always monsters that we're tracking. This time around, we're also...
Wait, what's that there?
This time around, we're tracking the scholar.
Wait! What's going on with the scout
Don't need
flies?
too dramatic zoom-ins. But yeah, in case you didn't know, blue scout flies usually mean elder dragons or really strong monsters, so Something's afoot. I don't remember hearing this music in game. To be fair, I play on a PS4 without headphones, so I can't hear the quiet stuff. So to be honest, I didn't know there was background music during this point. Usually it's silent for me until the until we engage with the monster. But yeah, let's swing across. There's another wedge beetle up there.
Is that the scholar? What's that he's sitting next to? It looks like a Barroth?
Yeah, there's another wedge beetle up there that I tend to use to mount monsters. Because if you swing off a whatever.
God, don't let him find me. Don't let him find me. Oh, I saw it. No, the Geritodus. That didn't kill the Baroth. It was
New target. Hunt that Geritodus.
Yeah, this is the Geritodus. It's literally the only monster to use water attacks. So yeah, water resistance in this game is not very valuable unless for some reason you're farming this guy and having trouble. But yeah, as you saw just now, I just used a Screaver Pod to knock him out of the water. At least I think I did. And first things first, should get that muck resistance up and going. And that was pretty silly of me. Don't worry, later on in the video you get to watch me do even worse with longsword. But yeah, this is Geritodus. He's got mud armor, so if you had a water weapon or some water pods, you can actually shoot them at him to break off the mud armor, like in one shot, rather than having to smash it down. He is quite weak to stun damage, so as you'll see, I do actually manage to knock him about quite a bit by hitting him in the head a lot. Yeah, like the oh, there we go. That's a good interrupt, and we also break off the mud off his head. Yeah, as you can see, Geritodus is a big fish guy. Like as the handler said, Water Blight does it does reduce our stamina recovery, but honestly, it doesn't really make too much of a difference. But yeah, water damage is criminally underused in World. There's I mean, whatever monsters in Monster Hunter canon are there that are like water based. I think Plesioth and Mitsusune. Again, I haven't played any of the old Monster Hunters. I just seen them. So, if anyone can think of any other water monsters, do tell. But yeah, as you can see, this guy gets knocked over so easily. As as you can see, the because the scout fly power up, song is only 3 what are those called again? What are they like? Fuck, I forgot what those are called in musical notation. 3 double notes. Your recitals and your recitals and encores. Oh, gotta get mount. Our recitals and encores actually do more damage the more songs you have queued up, I think, or at least if I remember correctly. So, just doing 4 double notes in a row is a really quick way of doing it, of getting like 3 songs maxed out. And as I've probably said before, you don't use up notes, so you can actually combo songs together quite easily. If I sound slightly more distracted than normal this time around, it's because England just got beaten by Croatia in the World Cup, and I'm laughing at all my English friends. And I have to talk shit to them. And we just ran across a barrif, which I am actually going to lure towards us because I'm not sure if we've seen it before, but we're about to see one of the world's cooler features. If I could just get the barrif to the Gyrototus, you will see what I mean. We are just going to sit back and watch the show because they are going to get into a turf war. So certain combinations of monsters have turf wars in which they fight each other with unique animations, and I think the Barrif vs Gyrototus one is one of the best looking and coolest looking, so just watch it in all its glory. I think it's one of the few turf wars which is actually neutral. Both parties take damage, like there's not a clear victor. Which is handy for us because getting the damage off on the Jira helped out a bit. Thanks, Barrif. You're cool, now go away. Back to beating the shit out of this. I think in previous games, monsters didn't actually fight each other. And yeah, I just used the puddle pods to break off the mud armor really quickly. But yeah, in previous Monster Hunters, monsters wouldn't really fight each other. Like, they could clip each other with attacks and damage each other that way, but they wouldn't actively fight each other. And, oh yeah, that's a quick way to stop monsters from running away, if you manage to break apart as they're running away. And luckily, with Jira and Barrif, it's really easy to break apart if you have puddle pods and they still have mud armor. Just gonna bash the hell out of this guy. Yeah, at this, I trigger Power Toad to try and paralyze the Jira, but it decided to go the other way to get his mud armor back. And you don't want to step in Paratoad clouds because even if you trigger them, they also affect you. And getting paralyzed is not fun. Yeah, just stopping that Jira from running away. Yeah, as you can see, I accidentally paralyzed myself at the very final swing. Yeah, if you get paralyzed, you just basically get stuck on the ground for a while, and you're just a sitting duck for damage. I think even if you do get damaged, you don't break out of paralysis, so it's unlike sleep and stun. So yeah, don't get paralyzed, guys. Yeah, that was Juratotus. Not particularly hard. Quite easy, even in high rank, so... Like I said, water resistance is not really a skill you need. If you really need against this guy, I think you should probably get better at dodging and stuff, because he's not hard. This makes me really want fish head soup. Just a bunch of monster bones and hero parts. But yeah, annoyingly, because Juratotus is the only water monster in the game, if you ever do want water weapons, you are going to have to farm Juratotus if you want any water weapons, so he gets old quick. Like, yeah, I've got the water sword and shield and the water dual blades. And getting those were a bore.
Gather round, everyone. We're ready to begin. Thanks to you, we've made great strides towards understanding the tracks that have turned up across the continent. Our researchers have done some projections, and now we know where Zora Magdaros will go next. It's heading for the Great Ravine.
The Great Ravine? The huge valley out past the Wildspire?
Correct. So I have a proposition for all of you. I say we try and capture Zora once it gets there.
Have you gone mad?
Capture it? Hear me out. The ravine is the perfect terrain for staging such an event. We're not going to get a better chance than this.
If we don't take this opportunity, it could be a decade before the next opportunity presents itself. Maybe longer.
Is it even possible?
If I said it wasn't, would that stop you?
Let's give it a go. With the Fifth supporting us, our chances are as good as ever.
Then it's settled.
Before we send the hunters out for the capture, we need to secure Astera. An Anjanath has been active in the area. Not the kind of monster you toy around with. We'll need a plan for it.
You're right. Hunters, you have your next assignment. Take care of that Anjanath. But be careful. The Anjanath is a fearsome monster. One slip-up and you're done.
Commander, if I may, I think I have a great idea. Hunter, I could use your help. Drop by later, if you will.
Another thing, that troubling report we received. Think you could...
Right.
Good, then. Let's get this show on the road. We have an Elder Dragon to capture. Everyone dismissed.
So the main reason why...
We should probably listen to what the Chief Botanist has to say before we do anything else.
So the main reason why everyone thinks the commander is crazy is because in every single Monster Hunter game, you cannot capture Elder Dragons. And Zora Magdaros is very much an Elder Dragon, and I'm looking for the boogie again. But yeah, any plans of trying to capture it are crazy by default, I'd say. Man, I spent way too long trying to look for that stupid pig. I mean, I'm sorry. The pig that I love. Some riveting inventory management. And let's pick up the next quest. Let's talk to the Chief Botanist. Because this is gonna unlock a very, very useful part of the game, which is the garden. Where you can take any plant, mushroom, or insect-like ingredient or material and basically duplicate it. As long as you got one, you'll be good. And hey, we unlocked our first specialized tool, the Gilly Mantle, which isn't which is alright. It basically makes you invisible to monsters.
Our next assignment is to hunt a Toby Kadachi. We should be able to find it in the ancient forest.
It basically lets you be invisible to monsters until you attack something, so it's good if you need a breather, I guess. It's not super useful outside of that. There's much better mantles to use, but we haven't unlocked them yet, so whatever. First, let's check out the Jura armor. Looks pretty cool. It's got like a kind of gladiator vibe. Well, more like old school plate armor vibe. Either way, it looks quite nice. I'm gonna make up a full set of it. I mean, I have made up a full set of it off screen after this recording, so you guys don't get to see that. Annoyingly, its resistances are trash, as you can see at the bottom right. Its resistances are trash against Thunder, which is the Toby Kadachi that we're gonna fight next. But in low rank, honestly, it doesn't matter too much. Like, I'm farming it up just for its looks, and actually water attack actually would help, because I am going to make the Juratotus horn, which is the Aqua Bagpipe 1. We don't have everything for it yet, but don't worry, I do manage to make it off screen. I also make the Vespoid horn off screen finally, and we'll be using that in a couple of episodes, I think. But yeah, the Water Bagpipe actually has the exact same song set as the Bone, so it's actually quite useful. It's a good set of skills, especially earplugs small, because Toby Kadachi does roar, and it's annoying if it interrupts you. But now, so that Barroth capture quest we picked up last time, we are going to do that. And I'm gonna preface this by saying this was an extremely embarrassing mission. I am not as good at longsword as I thought I was, and honestly I'm worse at it than greatsword now that I think about it. Because one of the key mechanical things I'm not good at. Oh yeah, and this is the Jura for Palico, and you get to be a cool little cat gladiator. I'm definitely gonna make that if I've got spare stuff. But yeah, first let's go capture Barroth, I guess, and laugh at me because I can't longsword good. I'm a bad samurai. Doo-doo-doo.
You can access your specialized tools from the item bar.
Oh yeah, I actually started off in the east section of the map, just because we haven't been there before. Make sure to get free stuff because it is a capture mission, and free traps are free traps. As you saw earlier, I was editing my radial menu, which is kind of like the quick access menu. And I just put the first mantle slot in there just for quick access. We are gonna have to do it again later when I actually save, when we restock, and I can save a preset again, because your radial menu is tied to your what's the word, inventory preset. Come with me, just doing a big gap ring. a bit too much gathering, to be honest. Like I said, I'm not very chatty today because I'm too busy shit-talking the English as God intended. Oh yeah, this is an easy place to gather thunderbugs, which are used to make thunder ammo for any bowguns that need that can use thunder ammo, or it can be used to make not thunder traps, shock traps. So if you got trap components, you can make them whenever you want, which is always useful because you can only really carry one pre-made one and one free one around. There's some scratches here for a monster we haven't met quite yet.
The longsword is a close-range weapon designed for cutting attacks. Gather your spirit to increase its power.
So yeah, longsword is another one of those gauge. It's another one of those gauge weapons where you want to fill up the bar as much as possible using your triangle combo, and then from there you use your R2 combo. So longsword has two main combos: triangle to build up spirit, and R2 to use spirit to upgrade your bar. So you can see how the bar's highlighted in white. It goes white, orange, red, and each stage gives you additional damage, which is always useful. It does decrease over time, but it doesn't take very long. Other important things to know about longsword. If you do circle and R2 together after an attack, has to be after an attack, you will do a sort of dodge slash that lets you skip right to... Yeah, so that's foresight slash, and as you can see, I did not use it at the right time because I am really bad at longsword, and the penalty for not using it at the right time is you lose all of your gauge. But if you do use it at the right time, it lets you skip over to the final attack in the R2 chain, so it lets you go straight to the next stage of the bar. Yep, like that. So as you can hear, there's like a little ping if you do manage to get it right. And my bar's not orange. Spoiler alert, I do not manage to get the bar to red.
There's no place to hide around here. Time to try out your ghillie mantle.
Yep. It turns out it can still hit what you can't see, and that was our first feint of the LP. That was extremely embarrassing. So things that happen if you faint: you lose your potion effects, so your max potions won't be around anymore. So you also lose food effects, so you lose any food skills, and you lose the stamina buff you get from food, and you lose the health buff you get from food, and other things. So like you lose the attack and defense buffs.
You can change your weapons and armor here. Make sure you're always prepped and ready for what comes next.
You can lose the attack and defense buffs from
You can use the
blah blah
item
blah.
box to manage your inventory.
As I was saying, you will lose the attack and defense buffs from Demon Drug and Armor Drug. Like I said, you'll lose the health boosts from any nutrients or max potions. Yeah, and you end up at the nearest camp. So yeah, fainting is a pain in the ass. Oh, and as you can see, I lost my gauge as well. So yeah. Yeah, like I said, so the thing is, foresight slash, very useful, but you have to do it right after an attack. You have to use it after using an attack. So usually, people use circle, which is just a really quick thrust. I believe it's the quickest attack you can use that can chain into foresight slash. So most people do that, but even then, I am not very good at doing it. Once you get enough gauge, you can do You know what? I'll show it off later. Oh yeah, if you get interrupted during your R2 combo, it is the worst thing ever because you need about 3/4 gauge to do a full combo because each R2 attack uses up a bit of spirit gauge. And if you don't have enough, like if you get interrupted in the middle of your combo, you're gonna have to build it up again and it's a pain in the ass. What was I saying? So another important thing is triangle and R2, which I don't use it during this, I'll show it off later, but it's basically a powerful attack that eats up your spirit gauge level. So it'll drop you a level. Yeah, oh.
Whoa! Look at the horns on that thing!
That's a
You better hope your armor holds up or you're gonna get gored!
That's a Diablos. It's an extremely aggressive herbivorous monster that's been around since the first Monster Hunter, I think. And hey, I didn't expect to see this second turf war during this episode. As you can see, the Diablos really chumps that Barroth, so we do not want to fight the Diablos right now. It also roars a lot, so luckily we're not in range of that. Yeah, he's turned to resistance, gonna charge. I'm just gonna wait until the Barroth decides to leave. Because, yeah, I really don't want to fight around this Diablos, it's gonna complicate things way too much. And we don't have dung pods at the moment to drive away our monster, but luckily the Barroth decides to run off because it was getting chumped as well. Nice thing about Turf War, it took a lot of damage out of that Barroth. But yeah, there's Spirit Helm Breaker, which is triangle and R2, and that's like a big attack that looks really cool but eats up your gauge levels. And then there's triangle and circle, which is Fade Slash, and that's like a back hop slash. You don't need to combo it off anything like Foresight Slash, but it doesn't give you the cool ping and then lets you skip straight to R2, the end of the R2 combo. One thing I learned whilst fighting this Barroth, if your longsword pings off a hard part Barroth like the crown, you cannot. Oh yeah, that was Fade Slash. You can't Foresight Slash off that, which is really annoying. Fun fact I learned about the Barroth the other day, those circles on its crown are actually its nostrils. So Barroth actually has 5 nostrils. I did not actually get the Foresight Slash off that time. The embarrassing thing is that Foresight Slash was actually buffed to make the window for the slash part quicker, and I am still bad at it. Yeah, like you see, I try to get that thrust off there. I tried to get that thrust off, but didn't manage to do it in time. Funnily enough, I lack in foresight to do attacks right before it decides to attack. Like, you know how I said that last time that Barroth actually telegraphs attacks quite well? Yeah, as you can see just then, I tried to Foresight Slash, but then my attack actually bounced off his crown, so I wasn't able to Foresight Slash. At the very least, I do manage to get off a full R2 combo. Just gonna quickly gilly up to sharpen and heal up again. Well, okay, not heal up. Yeah, so our Gilly Mantle actually expired after we attacked. If I run out of time, same thing would happen. It would look like that. So any mantles that basically run out, you'll keep them on unless you take them off manually, and they won't recharge whilst you have them on. So yeah. God, I play so badly this time. I don't know what it is about, like, trying out new weapons that make me play really badly, but it happens. Like, I really should know not to stand in front of Barroth, but here I am, being a dipshit. On the bright side, the Barroth is already limping, so we can capture it and save myself from any further humiliation. So I don't put down the trap immediately because I have been burnt in the past where the Barroth runs over here, does a couple of attacks, and then decides to run off again. So I put down a trap and it doesn't run into it, but in this case, it works out fine. So yeah, that's how you don't play longsword. I think what I'm definitely gonna have to do is practice it more on my main character and get some much needed practice in, and then probably show it off again in a better light later on in the LP, because yeah, like I said, I'm not very good at it and I did not show it off very well. Like, I didn't even get to red gauge, which is embarrassing. Like, I'm gonna have to do a couple of practice runs where I have to say to myself, I can't use triangle combo, I've got to, well, I can use triangle combo, but I have to try and get as many foresight slashes in, like, you know, challenge runs, that sort of thing. And there you are, Poogie! Let's quickly rename you whilst you're here. So yeah, edit name. Groupig. There we go. Yeah. If I ever get tired of the name, unlike our name and unlike our Palico's name, you can change the Poogie's name whenever. Finish a bunch of bounties. How exciting.
More steam.
Nothing particularly interesting in investigations, but it's worth a check. Yeah, time to talk to this guy again.
Hello.
So he doesn't have a follow-up quest for us now, but I think eventually he will give us some more. Looks like I forgot to talk to the field team leader.
Hey.
But yeah, what I am going to quickly do after checking to make sure there's no one else to talk to, what I'm going to quickly do is take us to the training area and show off some of the longsword moves I did not manage to show off properly last time. Yes, we've been here before.
Okay, let's run through the hunting basics. First, ready your weapon.
So yeah, triangle combo builds up gauge. R2 combo. Oh, that's a thrust. That's the fade slash, so it's kind of like foresight slash, except you don't get the shortcut. And you don't have to use it after an upper attack. So yeah, R2 combo, the spirit combo uses up spirit gauge. In return, it upgrades your gauge. And it turns out that barrel is a lot harder to hit. I tried to show off foresight slash there, but didn't work very well. But anyway, let's show off spirit thrust, or spirit, sorry, Triangle plus R2 is technically spirit thrust, and then when you up in the air, then it's spirit helm breaker, which I very embarrassingly missed there. So yeah, if you do connect with spirit helm breaker, you do get a bunch of attacks. And for some reason, my gauge is temporarily red. Don't know why. But yeah, as you can see, our gauge went from orange down to white down to nothing when we used Spirit Thrust. So I think what people usually do is get up to red and then basically ping pong in between red and orange by using Spirit Thrust and Foresight Slash. And we're nearly out of Mega Potions. Once we get this garden, I'm probably just gonna like keep farming honey first, and then probably bitter bugs and blue mushrooms, and those are the ingredients for Mega Potions and Mega Nutrients. So at the very least, we can get some health buff stuff. But yeah, that's the longsword in a nutshell. I recommend going online and watching a YouTube tutorial if you do actually want to play longsword. Don't watch me. Like, look up a tutorial video by Arix or Gaijin Hunter or someone else on YouTube. Those are the main two I know. And they will teach you how to play longsword a lot better than I will. But yeah, to end things off, we are gonna do one of the ingredient quests that the Muscular Chef wanted us to do to get more ingredients for the canteen. And this is just to kill a bunch of Vespoids, and it's not very exciting to watch. They're kind of scattered everywhere, but once you find a good spot, they just keep spawning, so you can kill Vespoids to your heart's content. Wherever, really. We haven't done many expeditions. I think next episode we're definitely going to go do an expedition because I want to show off the Phalanx tribes and how you get more cat specialized tools. So like the Vigor Wasp thing that my cat can summon, that's a cat specialized tool, and you can actually unlock more when you befriend different Phalanx tribes in the different zones. So I definitely want to show off the Ancient Forests tribe next time around after we fight the Tobikadachi. And I think we'll probably do that instead of an optional quest because I don't think we unlock many next time around. Or I'll do it on top of an optional quest instead of doing like a small quest like this one. Let's do a bit of capturing. So yeah, this has a few Vespoid that spawn. I think the way that they spawn is they always spawn when your camera isn't looking at them, which is pretty cool. So you turn your camera away and it, like you saw just now that they weren't there, and I don't know why I thought this was going to be a good idea. Fun fact, the capture net actually does 2 damage, so if you really wanted to, you could kill a big monster with them. The longsword's actually long enough that I don't really need to use the capture net to lure them down to my level. So yeah, either overhead swing or fade slash is a good combo. Most of the time, to kill Vespoid at the very least. Most of the time when you're fighting small monsters like this, so small insects, like their bodies break because they're quite fragile. If you have the entomologist skill, it's higher chances to retain your bodies, so you can actually carve them for materials because these small monsters do have materials as well that are quite useful. Yeah, unless you're specifically hunting small monsters, there's no point in bringing along entomologist, to be honest. I mean, there's also investigations that focus on small monsters. And why not enjoy the Chocobo theme from Final Fantasy XIV? This is a bit loud. I'm gonna reduce the volume in post. But yeah, I'm gonna quickly kill a few more Vespoids. What was I gonna say? But yeah, there's investigations just for small monsters, and if you're doing one of those, you probably want to get like Carve Master and Entomologist and stuff, just so you can get extra carves and materials off these guys. I stopped at 13 Vespoids because we are actually over one of the campsites.
I think we could build the camp here. Let's ask the head honchos.
I don't think we have the materials to make it just yet, but just grab that just in case. I'm gonna go grab the honey. Remember this cave because it's where the Phoenix tribe in the Wildspire Waste shows up eventually. I think we need to go do the Ancient Forest one first. And this is the very exciting footage of me running back up so I can kill that last Vespoid. And yes, you can capture flashflies. This is riveting gameplay, I can tell you that much. But yeah, I just need to kill one more Vespoid and that's not going to be hard. And there we go. Vespoids can actually paralyze, so if you manage to piss them off whilst you're fighting another monster, that can be quite dangerous. And what I'm gonna do now is see if I can run to the final campsite in Wildspire Waste, which we can unlock at the moment, and see if we can run there before the timer runs out. We're actually quite close to it. It's in the center of the map, so it gets to be called the Central Camp, funnily enough. Yeah, we're a lot closer than I thought we were. I think this is the closest camp to where Jura normally spawns, so if you're hunting Jura, then come over here.
We could build the camp here. Let's ask the head honchos.
Let's quickly do some fishing. Yeah, you can actually capture fish using a capture net. It's easier to do with a fishing rod, but yeah. So yeah, what have we done today? We fought a big fish. As usual, I've humiliated myself. And we killed a bunch of insects and unlocked some camps. So, all in all, a pretty decent round, I guess. Always remember to pet your Pookie. I think if you neglect them for too long, he stops coming up to you, and then we have to keep hunting him down again.
More steam!
Let's quickly deliver this, because we do have a bunch of Vespoid materials. Yeah, I can't do that just yet. We need Raffian bits, and we can't fight Raffian just yet. Or at least there's no point in trying to fight her. Just gonna go quickly check in on on Blacksmith, because we can actually well, I was just checking to see if we have the Vespoid bits, but no, we're missing a wing, which is really annoying, but I'll get that Well, I do get that off camera. And we do have a sonic horn now, so I'll bring out a couple of things. What the hell am I looking for? Oh, I'm trying to see what songs it is. They're not bad songs. They just don't have Pack Plus. So yeah, this is the Vespoid set. It looks pretty funky for an insect set. And it actually has pretty decent skills, especially if you have a paralysis weapon. Honey Hunter not so useful during combat, obviously, but everything else isn't bad. Quick Sheath is useful if you have something like a heavy bowgun or or I think hammer takes a while to put away, but yeah. But yeah, that's kind of it for this episode. Yeah, join us again next time where we fight the Tobi Kadachi. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys.